We are expecting more school children for holidays this week. Some of the school children got their holidays last week, and we found it important as security to come up with a few tips on how to keep school children safe and secure during the holidays. As you're aware, school children are back for their holidays. More are expected this week. Much as the school holiday is a joyous time, it is also a time where parents, guardians, caretakers, local leaders need to be extra cautious about the safety of children in their homes, in the neighborhoods, and as they go traveling and visiting. Therefore, as the holidays begin, it's important to remember that protecting children is a priority. Some of the tips we want to issue to especially parents and guardians is for them to discuss boundaries with children during this holiday, because you'll find that the holiday period brings about additional friends and family members. So you find there are some who want to come very close to the children, hugging them, playing with them, tickling them. Others want the children to sit on their laps. And so it is important to empower children to say no to unwanted touches, pictures, favors by adults or other children. The second area that we want to give to parents is to pay attention to signs of child abuse. Many times, adults disregard feelings from children, especially when a family member or a trusted friend or someone they think could never harm their child is accused by the child victim. The truth is that about 90% of children are sexually abused by someone they know and someone whom the family knows. Additionally, abuse can also happen at the hands of another child. So we need to be alert to relationships and activities between children when they come back at home. Then a lot of children tend to keep or to hold on to secrets. We need to empower our children and teach them how to avoid keeping secrets. Secrets are often the way abusers keep children silent, claiming it is their secret. So explaining to children that secrets are usually about something unsafe or bad is important during this holiday period. Another area is parents should limit one-on-one situations. Alone time between your child and another adult should be limited, if possible. Where you cannot, at least find ways of making interruptions and making observations, or even dropping at home unannounced. One-on-one time between children provides an opportunity for inappropriate behaviors. One-on-one time between a child and an adult also accounts greatly for sexual abuse and other forms of abuse. And then it's also important to keep track of our children when they are going out of the home. Take time to find out where your children are going. Some of the children want to tell lies so that they get excuses. So it's important to ring in advance or upfront where they claim to be going, and you make confirmation on the other side. And finally, make sure your child knows your cell number. This is very important. The third area that we want to talk about is the summons that are going to be issued to speculations over the former speaker's death. As you are all aware, the cause of death of the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah was clearly revealed. As arising out of multiple organ failure of the heart, the lungs, the liver, and kidney from the University of Washington Medical Center in Seattle, that is in USA. But it's also important for people to note that the former speaker also attended other hospitals in Germany, the Uganda Cancer Institute here in Uganda, and other hospitals after he was diagnosed with cancer way back in the year 2019. From all these hospitals, there was no trace of poison. That was traced according to the medical records that have been availed to us. Therefore, any other cause of death beyond these medical records is a dangerous speculation that must be avoided. The news of apparent poisoning of the late Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah has continued to produce debates by some politicians and not so many family members, but majorly the father. But the public should know that in all deaths by poisoning, the identification of poisonous substances is vital. And the presence of poison in the system, in the circulation of the body and the body organs must be proven. From the medical records that we have so far obtained, there was no presence of poison in the systematic circulation and or body organs. The deceased was treated in hospitals in Uganda, Germany, and the US under constant supervision, with numerous samples being taken regularly for analysis. All the samples did not offer any clues for poisoning. So we are therefore summoning all those persons with other causes of death, including poisoning, for further interview and statement recording. Chwanda, he also mentioned Honorable Chris Baryomunsi. We have Honorable Gilbert Oulanyah, Honorable Santa Okot, Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, Boss Micho Tim, Muzee Lokori Nathan, selected cultural and local leaders, and several other bloggers. We want them to provide us with a chain of evidence regarding that other cause of death, of poisoning that they allege. If they have evidence of how the crime of poisoning was committed, they should provide that information to us beyond reasonable doubt. By whom, how the poison was acquired, proof of access to the victim, whether directly or indirectly, any parallel certificates of death, to mention but a few. So the file of offensive communication is ongoing at CID headquarters in Chibuli. Now we continue with our crackdown operations on panga-wielding attacks and robbers. Our joint security agencies within Kampala Metropolitan have arrested a total of 178 suspects actively involved in armed attacks with pangas, iron bars in the areas of Namungona, Nansa, Nachengera, Kawempe, and Kasangati. In Nsanji Chengera, a total of 70 suspects highly involved in the recent attacks and robberies were arrested. Nansana Division, we arrested 22. Old Kampala 77, Kasangati 9. The team in Chengera and Nsanji started by arresting a notorious panga-wielding assailant called Semgenyi Rashid, 28-year-old, casual worker and resident of Natete Kutano, who managed to lead us. We found him with house-breaking implements, 2 iron bars, a torch, and 4 bunches of keys, and other clothes that He usually changes after the mission. He managed to lead us to their hideouts in Chinawa, Korokoro, Kauku Road, and Benghazi, where we arrested 64 suspects. Other suspects were arrested from Nabingo and Soweto, Chengera, where we recovered several exhibits of pangas, TVs, knives, wooden bars with pointed nails, hammers, opium, among others. The good thing is that we have 9 of the ringleaders. 6 of the ringleaders are from the Greens criminal gang. There is a criminal gang called the Greens, which is applies its criminal activities in Korokoro, that is Chinawa Chengera Town Council. Amongst the 9 ringleaders, 6 belonged to this group, and amongst those arrested, we have Serunjoji Fred, alias Yellowbird, Semanda Derek, alias Inspector, Serunkuma Arnold, known as DJ, Kato Donovan, known as Mugongo, Asimwe Alan, and Semgenyi Rashid. The other 3 leaders from Chengera, Soweto, who were arrested include Semakula Umaru, Sendagire Brian, and Sennoga Barak, who is the chairperson. But the overall gang leader, who is still on the run, is called Sula Muhammad. And we are actively searching for him in all corners. There is also Deoliso Walusimbi Jr. amongst those. In Nansana, the 22 suspects we arrested were in connection with panga wielding attacks in the LC1 villages of Chigoma, Masitowa, Ganda, Nansana West, and Naweru North. Amongst the notorious persons arrested, there is Chizito Hassan, Simbwa Hassan, Sembawa Hakim, Nwamanya Nelson, and Benom Gisha Fred. The 77 arrested under Old Kampala Division, 63 have been charged to court, and they have already been remanded. Then in Kasangati, we have 9 suspects who were behind the attacks around Chito Matuga, then Bulamu zone in Kasangati, and Kasangati Town Council. So in our screening, we noticed that most of the burglars and robbers are young men between 18 to 24 years, whose motivation is economic gain, because their target is basically cash. They also target phones, electronics like TVs and other smaller valuables. And then there are those who are also doing it out of excitement, that when they go into these homes, they find lone women whom they sexually assault, and they go about their robbery act. At the village in Wakiso, he's a painter. We have Kanyeri's Ibrahim, a software engineer, and Namsisi Victoria, a 53-year-old businesswoman dealing in second-hand clothes at Nakwad. They will all be charged with aggravated defilement.